What's up, guys? Welcome to the first draft league that I'm doing on YouTube. I'm sad to say that this may be my last season on this certain draft league. This league has done a couple of things that I have not really appreciated, and I'm not really wanting to tolerate anymore. So this may be my last season, but I have made myself my own draft league, and I actually have a couple of people helping me out with that. So we should have that up and running before this draft league season ends, and I can actually do that. So with that said and done, let us begin with this draft league team. So our first Pokemon is Garchomp. So Garchomp is mainly an attacking Pokemon with 130 base attack, which is actually really good. And with Rough Skin, once it gets attacked, it's going to essentially give a certain percentage of damage to the opponent's Pokemon. So, gosh, I'm hitting the mic. I am so sorry. It's really good, and that was actually my first pick. The order I'm doing this is in the order that I picked all the mons, not in the order of which they are going to be in the list of the league. So let us continue. So number 2 is Alolan Ninetales. Alolan Ninetales is basically a special defensive Pokemon with 100 special defense and 109 speed. So it's actually pretty fast. I'm not going to say it's the fastest, but it does have its really good points. So I feel like it's going to be good to allow this Pokemon to have like Aurora Veil and a couple of other moves that allow like special attacks and normal attacks to be reduced in its actual attack power. So Alolan Ninetales would be the Pokemon to set these up and then switch out to another Pokemon to actually give more damage to the opponent while you are taking less damage. But that is just one way to play Ninetales. Now we go to Blitzy. Sorry, I have the stats over here so that way I can look at its base stats and actually talk about a couple of these things. And then I have, So Blitzy is a special defensive tank. So its HP is actually maxed out at 255 for its base. So that is extremely good. And its special defense is actually its second best stat. And that is at 135. So this is going to be a special defensive wall. And with like Heal Bell, Soft Boil, and Leftovers, it's going to be hard to take down a Blitzy. And I'm actually glad I got Blitzy because I had it my first season in this league. I've been in this league since it was created, and I actually drafted Blitzy the first season and I really enjoyed it. I didn't draft it the second season because it got drafted before I could pick it, which sucks. So on to the fourth one, we have Fortress. Fortress is more of a physical defense wall at 140 defense. Now its HP is a base 75, which isn't too bad. We can put some IVs in the HP to bring that up a bit. But it's more of a hazard releaser and a hazard setter. So that's just the defensive way to use Fortress, but there are some offensive ways you can use Fortress, which Obviously, I'm not going to say because I don't know if the other guys are going to be listening to this or not. So I don't want to give them ideas of what I'm actually going to be doing. I'm just giving like what the base things are for these guys. Okay, so we have Politoed, which is next. And as you saw, we have an Alolan Raichu, but that's coming up next. So Politoed. It's a more roundabout Pokemon. Its base stats are within a certain range. They're not bad, but they're not good. This one's more of a rain setter, and oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I hit the mic, so I had to, I cut that out. Sorry. It's more of a rain setter, and it has some good things you could do with it. Also, you can get like eject buttons. So I believe with the eject button, if it gets hit, it goes back, and you can send out another Pokemon immediately, which would be pretty good with a rain setter. But I don't know how often you would actually want to have a rain setter, because depending on how your team looks and all that. So on to the next one, we have Alolan Raichu. A little bit of backstory. I had a Pikachu that I used halfway through my Sun game, actually a little more than halfway, and then I evolved it into the Alolan Raichu, and I just swept through the rest of the game really easy. And I drafted it first season. I actually drafted it second season too, and so I decided to draft it again because I really enjoy it, and it was still out there for a while, so I decided to grab it. And it's more of a speedy Pokemon plus a special attacker, so something like electric moves. Primarily, you can since it is part psychic, you can have psychic moves on it, and that's actually gonna hit pretty hard. And with you being fast, you're gonna more than likely have the first attack, so you can really get some damage in there before you go down, or you can actually do a one-hit KO depending on where you're at and who your opponent Pokemon is. I keep wanting to say monster. All right, so the next one is an Alolan, Mega Audino, and this is a defensive all the way. Its defense and special defense is the same base stat at 126. So depending on how you're going to play it, you can actually send this out to defend against dragon types and a lot of other typings, and you just have a really good defense, and you can actually have a really good offense too. You can put toxic on Audino, and you have yourself a really good mon here. Next is Snorlax, one of the most laziest Pokemon, but really good. Now its HP isn't as good as Blitzy, but it is at a base of 160, which is not too bad. And seeing it has a special defense of 110, along with its attack at 110, so you have a physical attacker that can take special attacks, which is really good. But the speed on this thing is only 30, so you need to work. You're gonna need to work some magic to actually be able to use Snorlax effectively without. So hopefully you're wanting your opponent to use special attacks instead of physical attacks. If you don't give it an IVs in its defense itself. So our next one is Salado. Salado is a really fast fire and poison type, and I'm going to be honest with you, the only reason I drafted this because I needed a fire type, and a lot of the good fire types actually got taken while I was not able to pick. And so I chose Salado because it is fast and its special attack is amazing, but everything else is worse. So its special defense, attack, and HP is not that great. Whereas special attack and speed is actually really good at special attack being 111 and speed 117. So we'll see how Salado does during the season. Our next one is Decidua. Decidua being the first starter that its final evolution was a ghost type, and ghost being really good against most Pokemon and then really ineffective at other Pokemon. I decided to draft Decidueye because I wanted to see how well he could do within the draft scene. So we're gonna see how well he could do. He is in the RU and UU, I believe. So we'll see how he does for us. And our last Pokemon is Shedinja. Shedinja is, I drafted it as a joke because it only has 1 HP. Its only good actual stat is in its attack at 90, which let's say is pretty fair. But with Wonder Guard, all I have to worry about is its super effectiveness on it. So hopefully I won't have to worry about that too much, and we can use Shedinja actually fairly well. And the last thing we drafted was a Z Crystal, and the Z Crystal I wanted was the Normalium Z. It got sniped for me. I was actually really devastated, and it took me a while to find a Z Crystal that did not get drafted that I could use, so I just decided to draft the Warium Z. I have a couple of mons that can use water-based attacks, so I decided let's just go ahead and take the Warium Z and see what we can do with it. If within the season I want to trade it, I can ask the person who got the Normalium Z, see if he wants to trade or what he wants to do. But this is our team. We're going to see how well we can do and what we can do with this team each week. My first battle is actually postponed because the person who I am supposed to be battling is actually gone for a little while, so the first week battle will not go up. The first battle will actually my first battle will be week 2, which will be next week, and this is one of the reasons why the draft team review is a little late. And another reason is I did not actually have my logo until tonight. So yes, thank you guys. Let me know down in the comments what I can do to actually make these reviews better and how I can improve, because that's something I want to do. I enjoy these leagues, and if I'm going to be doing it on YouTube, I want to improve my commentary and how I explain things. So just let me know down in the comments, and I will see you guys in the week 2 match. All right, have a wonderful day. Bye.